Hello and welcome to Minecraft Wrestling Alliance. My name is Equinox and I'm an admin of the server and I'll be the one leading you through this tutorial. This won't be a super in-depth tutorial, but I'll get the basics down. I still recommend reading the links in the important info channel in their Discord. Also, one more thing before I go into this tutorial, I won't be teaching you how to set up LabbyMod or how to chain wrestle. This is just a basic tutorial on how the system works and not how to wrestle. With that out of the way, the main things you want to know is 1. We aren't a player versus player type of wrestling company. Everything is scripted in the way of roleplay. You get a script ahead of time on Discord by one if not both of the owners, and they tell you everything you need to know about your segment and how it will play out. And how we wrestle and actually hit moves is we name buttons the name of the move we want to hit, and we enchant it with sharpness 100. For example, this is what a normal move would look like. But for finishers and signatures, we color the move with hex codes, and it looks something like this. That's my finisher for an example. That's pretty much the solid foundation we've had, and it's worked for years now, so let's go into the important commands. The first two important commands you'll want to know are /watch and /wrestle. They're custom commands we have created ourselves to make the experience smoother and more enjoyable. /watch is the command we use for watching the shows. It's used for teleporting the audience to backstage segments, and it's a smoother option than a /TP and makes the experience more enjoyable. /wrestle is the main command we use for actually wrestling. It's what teleports you back into the ring automatically. It also allows for an action command. The action command can be utilized through two different commands, a /me or a star. The star can only be used when in /wrestle mode, but what these commands do is send out a command in purple, which would be in action, like this for an example. We also have sailing commands, such as /sit, /lay, and /crawl, but another form of sailing is also crouching. Crouching is mainly used for when you get hit with a lighter move, such as a forearm strike or a chop. And /sit is more for a medium style moves like a jumping knee or something along those lines. And while /lay is dominantly used for finishers or bigger moves such as power bombs. And /crawl is used for things such as Boston crabs and so on. Things that make you fall on your stomach. Now that commands are out of the way, let's talk about speaking during a match, or not cutting a voice promo. We use LabbyMod, which allows for secondary chat, and we've got tutorials on how to set it up in our important info channel. So if you were to use a quotation mark, it'll pop up in secondary chat. These quotation marks are only used for when in an actual segment, so please refrain from using them when not involved in the segment. A big part in making your match run smoothly is communication with your opponent. We have two different ways of doing so. You can either be in a Discord call with them or use /MSG. When using /message, a paragraph isn't always the best option, and never is, in my opinion, but something simple as reverse this works perfectly fine. I do, however, recommend joining a Discord call. It just makes things easier and more simple than writing to each other. Now that all the main things are out of the way, let's go into some frequently asked questions. A main one is people ask, how do you get booked? Getting booked is simple. As long as you attend shows, have some practice matches, and show general attention toward the product and the community, someone will refer you to the bookers and you will get a spot on the card. And another one is, how do I get an attire? Getting an attire isn't something you want to focus on when first joining the server, because you won't really need an attire unless you're booked on the show. But getting an attire is pretty simple once you do get that script. You go to the attires plus skins section in our Discord, go to attire request and scroll up just a tad, and you should see a ticket request. From there you open the ticket and explain to the attire makers what exactly you want. And another one is, how do I make a button? Making a button is as simple as this command, and enchanting it with this. And note that when making the button, all spaces are used as underscores. So if you just write forearm smash, it's just going to show up as forearm unless you put an underscore instead of a space. You can also make a button with an exclamation point or an @ symbol when you're in wrestler mode. You don't need any slashes, you just throw the symbol in there and type out the name, you're good to go. The exclamation point is used for making a stone button, whereas the @ symbol is used for creating a black stone button. The difference between them is normal stone buttons have a slight respawn timer and kills the player that gets hit with it. The black stone buttons does not kill the player but still sends the death message. Blackstone buttons are good for quick moves like chops and forearms, whereas regular buttons are good for bigger moves like power bombs. We also use jump boost buttons, and you can apply the jump boost effect with this command. After you've typed in the command, every time you swing with that item, it will apply a jump boost effect. It's best to use items like vines or oak buttons. There's a few things I didn't explain, but you can figure out through our website and our Discord, both of which will be linked in the description. We have some more thorough explaining on how to actually wrestle, but as of now, it's pretty much everything you need to know, and thus concluding this video. I'm excited to see where you guys go and how far you will make it. I can't wait to not only wrestle you all, but get to know you as people. Thank you for listening, and goodbye.